So, what I want to talk about today is straight out of a book that has helped me understand myself better. And it's a bit vulnerable for me. I'm assuming that since we only have the cool people here, not that people who are not joining, if you're listening to the recording, you're not cool. You could have joined, by the way.
You know
But
that?
anyway, yeah. So, I usually call myself a bad witch, if you spell that witch with a B. And I feel like I can take out anything, I can do anything, and I think like I have an adequate self-confidence. Sometimes it's not the best, but I think I can get by. And I feel like I can do stuff. And I'm gonna open the floor. Rosha, this is a question for you. When I get off topic, what do you usually call me?
Butterfly.
Yes, a butterfly. Exactly. So this session is for you if you guys are motivated about doing something, but then you then suddenly become a butterfly or you start
Hetty,
chasing
we're talking
butterflies.
to you, Hetty. Like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we have lots of butterflies here.
Exactly. So on a journey to understand why sometimes, well, I'm locked in, I'm motivated, and I don't get distracted really easily if I'm like locked in to do something. I actually usually follow up unless there's something more fun that I absolutely have to do right now. Then I go well, chase that shiny object. And I wanted to know, hey, what the hell? Like, I'm a person who can follow through. I'm a person who can achieve stuff. What happens to me sometimes? And why do I leave stuff sometimes to the last minute? And why sometimes, while I don't leave them to the last minute, it's just like it bores the hell out of me and I can't get myself to do something. And it's just the easiest thing possible. I know I can do it. I know it's easy, but I just don't want to. Sometimes I just don't want to do it. So I really started kind of digging into it and understanding what the hell is wrong with me. And turns out a lot, just like spoiler alert. So I came upon a book that helped me understand that there is an equation when it comes to motivation. It is actually derived from economics and psychology. So it's like if economics and psychology got together and had a baby, this is the equation. And it starts kind of like this. If you had a pile of cash here, and a pile of cash over here. They're looking exactly the same, about the same amount, same currency, no trick. I tell you, this is the for sure pile. If you choose this pile, I'll definitely give it to you. But if you choose this pile, maybe I'll give it to you. Maybe you don't know. Which pile of cash would you choose? No trick. Would you choose the certain pile that I definitely will give you the cash, or will you choose I don't know, maybe I'll give it to you, maybe I don't, roll the dice. Which one would you choose?
Certain.
Certain. Okay, yeah. That's the logical answer, everybody. If you're choosing the other one, you're a freak of nature. Everybody should do that. Everybody should
Choose the
choose.
certain, get the
It's
money,
like
and then we invest in the people.
absolutely, absolutely. It is the absolute logical thing. However, sometimes stuff happens in our lizard brain that make us like make other decisions. Don't take the pile of certain cash and go for the maybe cash. Like we're absolutely crazy, like we have mad cow disease. So, this is the premise of our presentation and our book today. Give me a thumbs up when you see my screen. Are you
Coming.
seeing it? Are you seeing
It
it?
says it started, but it's still black for me.
Let me stop and start again. Stop and start again. So the book is called The Procrastination Equation, and it is a book by Dr. Piers Steele. And you probably have come upon like one or two or 10 or 20 of his TED Talks on YouTube, or like you watched a clip of it on TikTok, or you watched a clip of it on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. But he came up with the most cool equation. But before I get to that, I want to take you here. We have two brains. I've talked about this so many times in almost all the books that we did together. But every decisions that we want to make, it's a war between two brains that we have. It's our limbic system, our limbic brain, our lizard brain, and our prefrontal cortex, which is the cool one that allows us to talk and understand and rationalize and make plans for the future and all of it. As we evolved from like our monkey ancestors to whatever we are right now, monkey 2.0, as we evolved, our limbic brain still is capable of doing all like the stuff that it used to do, but we needed more language to communicate and make more complex decisions. So prefrontal cortex had to develop on its own and make some decisions. So these two parts of the brain very weirdly don't really share that much blood vessels. That means that they're not kind of in sync. It's like, you have an alien inside of your own brain, and the other side of the brain feels the same thing. It's not your right hemisphere versus like left hemisphere. It's like an internal part of your brain versus like the part that is like your prefrontal cortex, and you use it for reasoning. And every time that we human beings evolved, it was due to our prefrontal cortex. However, if you want to look at it through a lens of millennia, it was the limbic system, the limbic brain that kept us alive because it says, I want it now. I am thirsty. I need water now. Let me go get it. Instant gratification made us safe. Oh, a lion is chasing me now. Let me run now. Helped us. Oh, I need to find food now. I just ate a poison berry. I need to throw up now. These are the stuff that help us get here. So it's not likely that we're gonna just switch it off and go, because without it, we're just gonna not be humans anymore. But then prefrontal cortex came along, and then we started having dreams and aspirations, and we wanted corner offices and stuff. And limbic brain is not about that. Like, it's just asking, is it now? Is it now? Is it now? And if the answer is no, it's like, I don't care. What do you mean? Is it not now? Then why are you bothering me? Why are you wasting my resources, my sugar, my energy on this random thing that you're asking me? So that's always any decisions that you want to take. It's a war between two brains, which takes us to the motivation equation. So the cool thing about this book, and this is basically the whole thing that we're going to do, and we're going to play games right after this, is that if you want to basically calculate your motivation, there are four factors that you need to look at it. The first one at the top is expectancy. Do you expect yourself fully capable that you'll succeed at doing this? Because you are not likely to start a task that you don't think you can do. If you don't think you can do it, you'll find every excuse in the book to not do it. So do you expect that you can fully deliver? That's it. If you have more of this, you are having more motivation. The other one is value. Okay, is this thing that you're doing like has great meaning for you? Is it like rewarding, enjoyable? Is it gonna change your life in a meaningful way? Do you care about it? If you care about it, you're motivated. If you don't care about it, you're like, I don't know. If it's something for a boss that you don't like, you're not motivated about it. If it's about something that you're not invested in, you're like, I don't know, maybe I don't do it. But at the bottom of this equation, we have two killers that if you have more of them, you actually have less motivation. And I'm just going to be vulnerable with you guys here. This is my demon, impulsiveness. Maybe you have other demons. Everybody has their own demons. We're going to just find our demons right now. Impulsiveness means that if you are sensitive to shiny new objects, are you a person that usually finds a new thing and then goes about it and say, oh, maybe I'm gonna do that? Are you in favor of instant gratification? And my fellow demon dwellers, if you're like me, um, uh, it is not that we're flawed or we're lazy or anything like that. It's just that never in the history of humankind it has been easier to be distracted. It has been easier to chase the butterfly. It's just that like people in the 1800s did not have so many butterflies to chase. I would like to see Sir Isaac Newton come and stroll through my TikTok feed and see him not be distracted and chase through like different trends. I do want to see Sir Isaac Newton do that. So it's just that there are more butterflies to chase. So therefore, we need greater expectancy, greater value. But not everybody has that demon. Other people might have other demons. One big demon is delay. What is delay? So if you've ever started cramming when you're so close to the deadline, but like, before the deadline, you're like, I'll have time, I'll figure it out later, then delay is your demon. The more time you have, the more time you have, your motivation is gonna actually be lower. It has been calculated over time and time and time again, regardless if you're a disciplined person or a procrastinator, whatever. If you have more time, you have the tendency to put it away more and more and more. And it's because literally if like a lot of people kind of like to dub themselves ADHD even if they don't have the diagnosis. I make the joke that if you have ADHD, it's like a pyramid scheme. You diagnose yourself and then you have to diagnose 12 other people under you, and that like kind of goes over with everybody having ADHD throughout the whole world until like we surpass the human population. But a lot of people actually say that if you think you have ADHD is nothing but blindness to time. If it's not happening now, it's not happening. So, what does that tell you? What part of your brain is becoming dominant? The limbic side of your brain, the lizard brain is becoming dominant. And it's good. That means that you have great instincts. That doesn't mean you're broken or you're lazy. It just means that you are now aware with your prefrontal cortex, because we're conversing, we're talking, that this part of your brain sometimes, most of the times, likes to hijack your plans. That's it. So that's the whole equation. But now we're going to actually take it into play and start playing with it. So if you want to try the equation yourself, if you just take out the expectancy, if you think you can do it, your score of motivation goes higher. If you add more value, if you really care about the thing that you're doing, if you go higher, then it would go higher, your score would go higher. If your impulsiveness, your ability or tendency to chase the next shiny thing is higher, then your motivation comes down the more you have it. And if your deadline is farther away, your motivation comes down. So basically, this is it. But here, I want to talk about three different archetypes. I already told you about mine, but I'm just gonna ask one of you guys to come on the call. We'll do this together and then we're gonna play the game. So one type of people who procrastinate are people who have a broken factor in their tendency, in their expectancy. So look, right there, they don't believe they can do it. So if you don't believe that you can do it, you really don't try because you fear failure. You fear, oh, what if people find out that I'm not good enough? So those people who have low self-confidence have a broken expectancy. There's a group of people who are bored or apathetic. That means that they don't care. I don't care. Why am I even doing this? Why am I even attending this meeting? This meeting should have been an email. That means that you're bored. That task is meaningless for you. And then there's another archetype, the impulsive. So this is the most common. I'm sorry to be very common, but I am actually in the most common type of procrastinators when I procrastinate, not usually, but when I do. And you get distracted by butterflies. So let me just check my phone before I do this. And then there comes a notification, and there's another thing, and another thing, and another thing. Usually, one of these things is higher in you than the other two. However, in different situations, responding to different traumas that you had, different life path that you've taken, one becomes more prominent than the other two in different situations for you. So, for example, when I do something new that I haven't done before, my self-esteem may be lower. And actually, because it's a new thing, My impulsiveness is happy because I'm doing a new thing, but I'm not doing that new thing because I don't have enough self-esteem. But sometimes I know how to do it and it is a new thing, but I'm not quite sure if it's a good use of my time. So I'm bored. So it's not that you need to pick one and stick to it and say, oh, I'm diagnosed with this. No, it's not like that. You can switch, but one is more prominent than the others. So who wants to come up and we can do a little test to see which kind of procrastinator are you? We need a volunteer. We need a tribute.
I can do it.
Yes, Winnie. Okay. So answer these questions. So you have a daunting task. It lands on your plate. What is your first internal reaction? Is it, I'm not sure I can pull it off? Is it, this is going to be so boring? Or is it going to be, let me just check my phone first? Which one are you?
I think the first one is usually what I think first, and then I go to the second one because that's easier.
So the first
First
one
one,
is your first internal reaction.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. Question two. You're doing that task 20 minutes into the work. What usually happens? Do you start picking apart everything that might have, like, you've been doing wrong and everything? Is your mind gonna drift? You don't really care about what you're doing, or you start opening a new tab on your laptop and then five more tabs?
I open a new tab and then five more.
Okay. So when you have a deadline, but it's far away, you tend to, one, convince yourself that you'll figure it out later, not see the point of starting it yet, or easily get pulled into something more fun. Which one
Convince myself I'll figure it out later.
are you?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you want to focus, what is your biggest enemy? Is it self-doubt? Do you want it to be perfect? Are you easily getting bored, don't know the meaning of it? Or is it like, just one more video? What's one more episode? One more Netflix? One more notification? Which one are you?
I kind of resonate with a little bit of all of them, but more so self-doubt and perfectionism. Yeah.
Okay. And when you finally do submit that project that you've been putting off, that thing that you wanted to do, what do you feel? Do you feel a relieved, like you dodged the bullet? Do you feel like, glad it's over? Or do you feel like frantic? It's like, I should have, like, started sooner. I left it all to the last minute. What was I doing? Which one are you?
Yeah, the last one, frantic. I should have done it before.
Okay. And which one of these sound more useful to you? Is it if you break tasks into smaller chunks, into smaller wins? Is that the thing that would help you the most for now? Is it turning boring tasks or to games or like pairing them with rewards? For example, telling yourself, hey, if I wash the dishes, I'll watch an episode on Netflix. Or is it putting your phone in another room, blocking like all the sides and like, removing all the distraction? Which one have worked for you so far more?
Uh, I don't have such good self-awareness with this, but I think it would be like breaking tasks into tiny wins. That would help me.
Okay. So
Oh.
main culprit for you is low self-confidence, which is coming from your expectancy issue. So usually when you don't start a task, when your motivation score is low, that means that you are doubting yourself. You just feeling, can Winnie do it? Can Winnie actually pull this off? And this is what is basically stopping you, pulling the brakes on not allowing you to go achieve this other thing. I can take this test. I would score the exact opposite. I would score 4 on impulsiveness, and I'm gonna score 2 on expectancy. Exact opposite of what you just did. I'm gonna score that. So see, we are different, but we're all the same. We have the same issue. It's just that the root of our issues are a little bit different. So now that we know, because sometimes it is easier to kind of like see our problem through the eyes of others. I want us to play a game. So everybody has to play one. We have 5 scenarios. I want you to read the question and tell me, what do you think is broken in this person? What do you think is making their motivation score be low? Okay, I'm gonna from like the top of my screen start. Roman, it's your turn. Scenario number one. I want you to diagnose this person. At this moment, you're the doctor. The patient name is Maya. She has a 30-page thesis chapter due in 6 weeks. She's a strong writer, but she keeps reorganizing her notes like somebody else we know. And she's like all about just changing it, and she's not actually drafting. Every time she opens a document, she stares at it for 2 minutes, then closes it. What do you think is wrong with this person? Is it their expectancy? Is it their value? Is it their impulsiveness? Or is it delay? You're muted.
Expectancy because
Expectancy.
she doesn't have she doesn't have high confidence in what she's doing. She keeps reorganizing and making things perfect before she starts.
Okay, are we
I
locking in
think that
expectancy?
would be my yeah.
Your answer. Okay, expectancy. Okay, this is actually correct. This is the thing that she's struggling with because she's like reorganizing her notes. But then what do you recommend she does? What do you recommend she does? You're the doctor. Now that you did the diagnosis, you also need to do a prescription. What do you think she should do? So these are items that I'm going to talk about later, but if you were the doctor, what you wanted to do? Do you want to tell her, hey, oh, go do read about success spirals? That means that break it into like little tasks and win everything until like you feels like, oh, you can win everything. Is it vicarious success? That means that go and read about how other people achieve this. So you feel if they've done it, I can do it. Is it gamifying the tasks, make it like, fun, like a challenge, race against the clock? Is it pair it with a reward if you want to do it, just like open a movie in the background? Is it pre-commitment? Like that means that like block a time, tell other people about it, burn all the bridges, say I'm doing it. You can also do an if then planning. So if I open my laptop, then I absolutely have to write a sentence. Is that the thing that you prescribe? Artificial sub deadlines, which is like pretty self-explanatory. Do you think that she should just like have more deadlines or just focus on the next step? Which one do you think she should do?
Only one.
Yes, pick one.
I choose the vicarious success. So if you can
Right.
show her that other people can do it, then she can borrow that confidence to get her task done.
Fantastic. You actually chose the right answer.
That's
Woohoo! Okay, cool. Ramon, you are a great doctor for the purposes of what we're doing right now, not medical advice. Okay, the next person on my screen is Barbara. Barbara, you're up for the next scenario. So the next patient name is Danielle, and Daniel has 2 hours blocked off to do his taxes. He sits down, actually, he opens up his laptop, and within 4 minutes, he's reading sports news. Then he spends the rest of those 2 hours also reading more sports news. What do you think is broken in
Well,
Danielle?
it has to be impulsiveness.
Okay, let's lock in impulsiveness. And correct, you chose correctly, you chose wisely. But what do you prescribe for Daniel? What do you think he should do? He should
Okay.
he like success spirals, like, break the task into like tiny little things. So he would like, feel like he's building momentum. Should he read about other people who are doing their tasks so he would feel more confident? Should he gamify the task, race against the clock, turn it into a challenge? Should he do a reward pairing, like, say, oh, I'm gonna listen to my podcast, my favorite one, while I do my taxes? What do you think?
Not that one.
Which
Um,
one? Do you think he should
okay,
pre-commit?
I'm looking through the other ones.
Yeah, put his phone
Um,
into another room.
okay, so I would say with this person, I think gamifying the task might be an option for them.
Fantastic. Let's lock in. So gamifying the task, while it is a fantastic thing,
Oh,
it
but
does
it was the
work for
wrong
you
thing.
if it's your board. If it's your board. But if you get distracted easily, like Danielle does, if you gamify it, you'll get distracted by playing that game more, whatever that is,
Oh, okay.
and then do more of that. So you need to target something that is more on what makes him not get distracted, which is like, leaving his laptop, his phone in another room and block time and then say, this is the time, this is like, the no bullshit thing that I'm gonna do it. So putting his phone aside, putting all of the distraction aside is usually the way to go for these kind of people. But
Okay.
that was a very, very clever guess. You're an amazing doctor as well, just not for medical reasons. Anybody who's watching this recording, disclaimer, disclaimer. Okay, next scenario. Let's do another one because I want to also be mindful of your time. The other person on my screen right here is Winnie, but we did a part with Winnie. Let's do Narges. Narges, you're up. Narges, can you open your mic?
Can you hear me? Okay, yes, I'm
Yes,
in.
I can. Okay, so Narges, your patient, her name is Priya, needs to file her expense reports from a conference. She's done it 100 times. She's not afraid of it, but it is mind-numbingly boring. Like, honestly, it is a hellish job to do. And the reimbursement is automatic, so she knows that she's gonna get it at the end. She just can't make herself start. What is wrong with her?
Maybe she cannot see any value on it.
Value, should we lock in? Value 1, value 2, value 3. Narges, should we click?
Yeah.
Yes, you are right. You just did the correct diagnosis. Absolutely right. But what do you prescribe for Priya? What should Priya does to be able to start the task? Because she just can't make herself start. What do you prescribe for her?
She needs something to, okay, hold on, reward. Okay, I'm gonna go with the reward one.
Reward pairing. You
Yeah.
are right, because she just can't make herself start. She just need to make it fun for herself so she can just like get past this hump, past this slouch, and then get it done. There are two more scenarios here, but I'm not gonna do it. But you guys are all amazing doctors. I am very proud of you. Just please don't practice medicine. This is definitely not for medicine. So these are the things that you just did. You are all amazing. You could have written this book instead of Piers. So if the goal is to raise your expectancy, that means that you need to raise your self-confidence. If that's the thing that you're struggling with, good things to do is reading about other people's success. That's vicarious success. Mental contrasting, that means that look at where you want to be, look at where you are now, and then see the steps, like, kind of visualize the steps from here to there. And then success spirals, just make tiny, tiny little tasks and just Do one of them until you build momentum. He also calls it island hopping. Like in Polynesia, if you go to like, one of the little islands, you can see the next one. And then from there, you can see the next one and the next one and so on. If your goal, if what's in broken is the value, if you don't see the meaning, you need to make it meaningful. That means that you need to gamify it. You need to manage your energy. You need to do something that takes you in the mood. You need to do reward pairing, just like Priya. And if the goal is to lower your impulsiveness, I'm just talking about myself, it means that you need to pre-commit. You need to say, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then announce it. Lock in. You need to control your environments. Just get rid of your notifications and implement intentions. Do if then planning. If I open my laptop, the first thing that I have absolutely to do is to open my Google Chrome and then go to my this tab that is my work on. And if your demon is delay, you need to create fake urgency for yourself, artificial deadlines, next step focus, and making the consequences of missing those deadlines vivid for yourself. What happens if I don't submit my paper? What happens if I don't do the job that I was tasked to do? And all of these are for you to understand. Stop shaming yourself and start editing yourself. Procrastination is something biological. It is a biological hurdle. You have it inside of you. Everybody does. It actually has genetic components, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna be born that way and you're gonna die that way. You absolutely have the option to edit it out. And the cool thing is that, let's go up here, because you have two separate parts of your brain, you just need to make sure that the correct one is in charge. That's it. That's on the book that we needed to talk about today. The book is The Procrastination Equation by Dr. Piers.